The NFL draft is headed to DC. We've got the latest right here on Ref the District. Let's go. Greetings and salutations and welcome to Ref the District. I'm Nathan Perry. That's the Stoner. And exciting news broke Sunday. Back-to-back Sundays. Just some great news for the folks of DC. This time, it's the NFL draft coming back to the homeland. Last week, it was the stadium deal. This week's the NFL draft, and 2027 is going to be coming. What's happening next week? Well, we'll get to that when it happens next week. Let's talk about the news right now, which is just broke, officially announced about an hour ago as of the time of this recording. The NFL draft in 2027 will be coming to DC, and we'll get a chance to celebrate in person, live, and locally, which will be exciting indeed.
This is a really big deal, Nathan. This is something that we haven't experienced, obviously. Now, the NFL draft being on the road is relatively new, maybe 10 years old now that they've been doing it. But just to have it come to Washington, just to be considered, this doesn't mean, because I know there's a lot of people out there who don't care about these other things that happen outside of what happens on the field. And they don't care. They just say, just win football, just win the Super Bowl. That's all I care about. I totally get that. But this is just another step in the rise for this organization from where we were at rock bottom, absolute rock bottom, to where now we are the type of franchise, the Commanders are the type of franchise that we can be just so proud of to be a part of. And we haven't been able to say that for so long. And we had just hoped that when Josh Harris took over as principal owner or managing owner, whatever you want to call him, that things like this would happen, that the new stadium, winning, the draft, whatever else is going to happen. And we're finally there, and it's just very satisfying, and it's kind of cool that the draft is going to be showcasing our hometown and the home of the Commanders.
It will be exciting in 2027 with pick 32 to see what Washington is going to
for the second year in a row.
Second year in a row. No, and I think that actually does speak to, and something I will kind of want to. Everything just seems to be coming up DC. Everything's coming up Washington right now. You had a fantastic year. It did end up in a Super Bowl, but you have the most exciting QB going into next year, right? There might be better QBs, but there's nobody more exciting than Jaden Daniels. You just announced last week that you're going to be bringing the stadium to DC, and DC is only going to pay 25%. It's actually 24% of that stadium deal. And now possibly a little bit of political maneuvering is getting the draft to come to DC as well, because this is, like you're saying, Stoner, this is kind of a big deal. The host city makes a lot of money off of this. In 2024, the NFL draft in Detroit generated a record-breaking $213.6 million in economic impact. That's from Chick Hernandez. Thanks for that info there, Chick. $200 million. And that was not the level we're going to see in DC. They had less than $1 million. Roger Goodell, Josh Harris, both saying at the press conference they expect more than 1 million people to attend the NFL draft. They want to stage it in the National Mall. This is a really big get, and I think it, like I said, politically, it pushes those council members who might be on the fence to see that this is something that you can have, the nice things you can have if you bring a stadium to your area.
Yep. I mean, it's a big deal all the way around when you do. And there's probably no better place in this country that understands how to put on a big stage than Washington, D.C. and the National Mall area. We've seen it for inaugurations. We've seen it for championship parades and how many people can be down there. You can, if you think about to presidential inaugurations for Obama was like 1.9 million people that were down there, and President Trump was somewhere around that same area. Don't get into politics, please. I'm just saying. I'm just saying that you can fit
a line, Stoner.
You can fit so many people down there, and they're used to putting this many people in that area for big events like this. So it's not going to be a question of, well, when you had it in Green Bay, and that was cool, right? You had Lambeau and as your backdrop, and you were able to fit a couple 100,000 people every day into that area. And that was cool. That's great. But you can literally put 1 million people on the mall for one event. Mm-hmm. And that's what you can probably expect. Like you said, Josh Harris or Roger Goodell said maybe 1 million people over the 3 days. I'm telling you, there's going to be 1 million people each day down there. And it's going to be amazing. You have no better visuals. The plan right now is to kind of put it over there by the Air and Space Museum and the National Art Gallery, which means that to the left, you're going to have the Capitol. To your right, you're going to have the Washington Monument. In the back, you're going to have the White House. I mean, or you could put it up there with the backdrop of the Capitol. And then you've got the Washington, or you can put it at the Lincoln Memorial and have the Washington. I mean, there's so many places that you can put it. And the visuals are just going to be tremendous when it's all said and done. And like you said, the economic impact is positive. They're going to have to figure some things out. Like, I think there's issues with like the National Park Service has issues with sponsorships and logos that you're not allowed to do, and alcohol and people walking all over the grass, which they don't particularly care. They'll figure all that out. And it's going to be awesome. And I'm super excited that it's finally coming to DC.
Yeah, I think there's definitely going to be some things that they're going to work out. But I mean, it's happening. It's going to come to DC. Locations and stuff are still going to be set. They want it to be at the National Mall. That's probably the thing that they're going to have to work on the most when it comes to that. And I don't disagree with you that there's going to be 1 million people probably each day there.
Each day. I'm predicting it right now.
What DC brings that other cities cannot is it's already a tourist location. So people aren't coming just for the NFL draft. That's going to be probably the highlight of their trip here, but they're going to spend a week and they're going to see other parts of the mall, right? When they're going to go up and down the mall, and then they're going to enjoy the draft on Thursday night. Then they're going to go up and down the mall, and they're going to travel throughout the DC area, and then they're going to enjoy the second night of the draft. And then maybe Saturday they skip the draft activities and they rest, or they go somewhere else. People are going to be able to metro in from outside the community. So Maryland and Virginia are going to get their own people, and money and stuff flow from this. It is a big, big deal for the community to get this. And I think that they're excited.
The infrastructure is there. Like you're saying, it's already there. No disrespect to Green Bay or Detroit or whatever. But when you have the NFL draft there in Green Bay, let's just use this most recent example. That's all there is in that area because it's right there at the stadium. So yeah, you have hotels and such there, but you don't have a ton, right? And then you do have some bars and restaurants, but you don't have a city that is used to having millions of people every single day coming in as tourists. You don't have that infrastructure like you do in Washington. And the draft is in April. I think probably the second biggest event in DC is the cherry blossoms is in April when they come to full peak bloom, right? So you could have those people who are all in town for the cherry, and it's not going to bother the city. You're not going to overwhelm the city. They're built for this. And the proximity to Philly and New York, and even if you go south down to Charlotte for the Panthers fans, both of them that might show up for that, and all of just the closeness of everything. Again, Green Bay's way out there. You go to Green Bay, you're going to the draft and you're going home. Whereas in Washington, you can come in and then you can go to Philly after the day of the draft, after you watch the draft on Saturday or something. You can go up to Philly and hang out and whatever, because you have all the infrastructure, and I can't wait. And it's going to set all kinds of records and the visuals. And once again, Washington and their football team and their organization are going to be on top of the world, and we're going to feel good about it. And I can't wait.
Yeah, I love this part of our lives right now. Washington Commanders are on top, talk of the town, one of the premier franchises once again for the NFL. It's exciting.
It's bizarre is what it is. But like you said kind of earlier, is that everything that Josh Harris has done, it's turned to gold, and you can't doubt him at any point now, right? If he says, or if he's going to put on the draft for Washington in the city, it's going to be top notch. It's going to be first class, because that's all he's done since he got here. Is everything he's touched has turned to gold. Stadium, the draft, the what you talked about with hiring the right people, the upgrades at the stadium that's there now at Northwest Stadium, the player grades. Remember how they just completely flipped from the year before, and how everything has gone all the way up. Everything he touches has turned to gold, and this is just one more notch in his belt of thank the football gods for Josh Harris and what he's done since he got here.
My man just has to work on that handshake game, and then he'll be just fine. That's probably about the only mistake he might have made in his tenure as the Harris ownership group. Well, let us know what you think in the comment section. Are you excited for the NFL draft to be coming to DC? If you're out of town, like the two of us, are you going to be traveling in to see the NFL draft? Make a little visit of it. Let us know that as well. Don't forget, hit that like button, sub to the channel, share this video, and then join us on Wednesday live, 7:30 Eastern, where you can join the conversation and have your voice heard right here on Ref the District. That's it for us. The DC area is getting a big event, the NFL draft coming in 2027. And I'm Nathan. That's the Sonar. We're Ref the District. And until next time,
it's just everything is gold. It's so good to be a Commanders fan.
Be a fan.